San Diego, welcome. We want to tell you about Love to Ride. Maybe you've been using this, maybe you haven't. We got teamed up with these folks in 2020 because COVID was weighing on us. We wanted to get back out and bike with people, but in a safe way. And we found out this was the way to do it. So you might not have done anything with Love to Ride yet, but we want to get you excited about Bike Month coming up in May and teach you how to be a team and office champion. So, Love to Ride, in case you don't know, is an online platform, and the whole point is to get people on bikes. You all into that? Do you want to get people on bikes?
Yes. Yes, Sylvie.
We seem to be on the same page. So, something else you should know is that not only is this available online, it's also an app, because who doesn't love apps these days? We've all gotten so used to using apps. Kevin, if you do a little click on the mouse, I think the app will show up. Boom! That's what it looks like. Okay, so this is how it's going to go. We want to tell you why we think biking is so awesome and then teach you about how to get signed up on Love to Ride and how to win things. That's honestly what it's all about. We have like thousands of bucks of stuff to give away, and all you have to do is bike. You can also not bike. You can just sign up and you can still win things. You can invite people to sign up and you can still win things. So this is what it's all about. But why is biking awesome? Biking's awesome because no emissions. Woohoo, sustainability.
Yeah.
Also, it boosts people's health in a significant way. Also, it boosts people's mental health and wellness. That one totally resonates with me because being cooped up inside, the only thing that's keeping me sane is getting on my bike. I also find in my own life, if I wake up and I go out and bike, even like 10 minutes, my whole day is so well like focused and I'm just like set up to succeed. So just a little bit of movement in my life helps me. And then finally, biking saves you money in lots of ways, not just because a bike is, an inexpensive vehicle, but you don't have to pay parking costs. You don't have to pay all of the maintenance and gas and everything else that comes along with having an automobile. So I'm all about bike life. Okay. Last thing I want to tell you about is why Love to Ride is so special. And then we'll actually get into it. I know I've been saying that. It's coming soon. So Love to Ride is designed by scientists whose focus is in behavior change. So you can't just tell people, hey, get out and get on a bicycle. It's just not that easy. You got to have the equipment. You got to know how to do it. You got to have a good network of people, teaching you and guiding you and biking with you to actually make that kind of change happen. So this whole app is set up to appeal to people and meet them in the place that they need to be met. So somebody who's, biking thousands of miles a year anyway isn't going to need the same kind of motivation and education and assistance that somebody who's totally new to biking is going to need. So when you sign up, you fill out a little bit of info, and then the whole app is designed to give you all the tools you need to succeed. Kind of cool and effective.
So,
okay. What's the Bike Month Challenge, Kevin?
Bike Month Challenge, perfect. So because the app itself is a way to get people more involved, and that's sort of what the end goal is. So the app itself is fun, but the goal of the app is to get you more involved, to get other people more involved. The other way to do that is to have these specific challenges throughout the year, and now, since we're coming up to it, specifically in May, which is Bike Month. So we've got bike yoga, we've got bike classes, we've got solo rides, we've got virtual group rides, scavenger hunts. There's all these different things that are happening, and as you'll notice, there's a different focus for each week. So new riders, families, etc. We're not biking to work, or some of us are, but a lot of us are just biking around, and so that's why this year, instead of Bike to Work Day, you'll find Bike Anywhere week. And that's what we'll be doing the third week of May. So keep an eye out for that. So how to get started. So you're excited, you're motivated, you want to motivate other people. How do I get involved, and how specifically do I get involved with Love to Ride? Well, first and foremost, there's a website. You can find it by Googling the phrase Love to Ride and then looking up San Diego County. You can type in lovetoride.net/San Diego County, etc., etc. What you're going to be doing is taking part as an individual Also, there's ways to connect your workplace. There's ways to connect with other riders in your neighborhood, etc. But first and foremost, you're taking place. This event, this app, this product is you as an individual interacting with it. The whole goal is to get people to ride together, but ride separately. So you're not physically next to each other, but you're still riding at the same time, which makes it kind of fun. After you've set it up as an individual, then you're joining that club, you're joining that group, and as we're going to talk about in about 30 seconds, you can set specific goals for that group or for that organization, and then you're joining with your workplace. So it's ways to get more people motivated. It's ways to get more people involved other than just yourself. And if there's someone in your workplace who's thought about riding but hasn't really done it as much as they want to, the way to make that happen is to get them involved through this app, through the workplace. How's that all sound? Is this making sense so far? I think it's good. Okay, we're moving on because I want to get to specifics. We've been all theory for the past 15 minutes. Now we're going to be very focused on practice. Welcome to the profile page. And if you're watching this, be it live or at a future date, follow along with me. Go ahead and open up that, pause the video if you want, open up that Love to Ride platform, sign up, check it out, and see if you can see what I'm looking at. Love to Ride is a website. You can use it on your phone, you can use it on your laptop, whatever else. And when you do set that profile up, there's a couple different things you want to make sure that you do. One is spell your name correctly, otherwise it's going to be hard for your friends to find you. The other thing is find the clubs in your area that are applicable to you. So the first thing I did is look up the name of my neighborhood. Then I looked up other, interests that I have. So maybe there's a club for people who enjoy feeding ducks. I don't know. I haven't looked. It's possible. In fact, look now and send me a message if you find one. After you've searched for the different organizations, you can then join your workplace. So maybe you're the first one. Great. Now you are the workplace champion. You're the person who's helping other people get settled there. And that's a good thing. And maybe your workplace is already there, and then you and your coworkers are working towards a goal together. Those goals can be all kinds of different things, and Love to Ride is keeping track of all kinds of different things. Things like how many trips you took, how far you went, but the thing to remember is that this isn't an app about racing. This isn't a program about distance. This is a program, this is a way to stay connected. And it's nice to see that, one person rode further than another person, but that's not the goal. That's not what this is about. That's not how you get points. It's just about motivating each other. And so there's a bunch of different ways to look at those metrics, and we'll talk about what some of those are. And the last thing I'll say before I move on is, as leery as a lot of people are to download something new, as leery as people are to, I don't want to have a whole new program on my phone that's going to follow me around everywhere I go. That's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about using something that you already have, but then integrating it with this Love to Ride platform. So there's a little button that you'll see when you do log on to that Love to Ride area with your profile, and it'll say click here to log rides automatically. And when you do that, you've synced it to whatever it is you're already using. So the first time I set this up, I didn't log back on for a couple weeks. I was busy with other things. But then when I did log on after a couple weeks, all of a sudden, all the rides that I'd done were there automatically, and I didn't even realize it. And I'm getting points. I'm getting high fives from my friend just virtually. And it's a cool way to stay connected, and they make it as easy as possible. So, Jesse, would you talk a little bit about starting out as an individual and then also how you can get involved as an organization after you unmute yourself?
And what that's going to mean to them. So tune in next Saturday for that YouTube live video. But that goes into all the details about setting up the challenges you can ride locally, as well as how you can set your own goals and earn points that way, as far as encouraging teams, family, all that sort of thing. But then, so as an organization, when you join a workplace organization, after you sign up individually, you can add that as a workplace. Then when you join your workplace team, you can encourage other employees to ride, and all the points that you earn individually then accumulate as a workplace. So you can compete against other workplace organizations. You can even compete against departments in your own company if you have a large company. That's kind of a cool way. It's not highly competitive, but it is like say, hey, like we rode 10 of us rode 100 miles this week, and versus someone in another department might have they would be like trying to beat you by doing 150 miles instead. So the idea is just to get more people out more often and enjoy the experience doing so, and encouraging new riders particularly, so that join your workplace team. There are, as a workplace or office organization, there's a profile set up for that. And then there are leaderboards within that entity, so you can see who's doing what. In this case, you can see Sylvie's beating us all because she's really good at riding. But it's just kind of fun. It's kind of fun to see, what other people are doing, because a lot of times we're doing these rides solo. But as Kevin said before, this all accumulates as far as workplace, and everything you do solely gets added together with all the other employees in your team. So this is a great way to keep track of that, and then you can kind of keep track of how you're doing against your other workplaces that you might be competing against. It's all in fun. It's all like a little fun just to see who can do better and do more, ride longer. Let's see. Next slide. There we go. Okay. So to set up a workplace or to join a workplace is when you go to your profile, just click on that. It'll and ask you to enter the employee name, and then it does a quick search. If you don't find anything, then you can create one. So basically, if it comes up empty, then you can register as a new office or organization workplace. When you create the organization, then you become the office champion. So the office champion has kind of a special role that is you're kind of the cheerleader for the rest of the workplace, the organization. That means like you can spearhead trying to get more team members, organizing workplace rides, deciding who might be another workplace or department to sort of have a fun competition with. It's all fun and good. The more people there are 7 levels of organizations. So if you're an office of say 5 people, you won't be competing for prizes against a company that's 10,000 people. So just know that when you create an organization, there are 7 different size levels. So you'll be in a size appropriate team or competition. So once you have that organization set up and anybody on the team, the workplace organization, you can go in and see how individuals are doing, how many points are being added. This includes how much are participating, who's out riding, how many have encouraged new riders, and then there's totals as far as miles, accumulations. And there's a lot of great information in there to just automatically accumulate, so you can kind of see how everyone's doing. And obviously, the more we encourage other people, new people to join, new riders to start riding, get more people involved is the main goal. It's just getting more people out having fun riding a bicycle. So a little bit more about the organization champion. This is an example of what Sylvie is the office champion for the Bike Coalition. Now the office champion is given resources to promote workplace events, to reach out on social media, or to reach out to other employees. There's all these resources given, created like templates, social media posts, things like that, to sort of talk about events that you're doing as far as the group rides. You can set group goals. It's just a lot of helpful advice and text and sort of everything that makes it easy for you to encourage others to join your team. So yeah, there's posters you can put up around. I know in this day and age we might be just getting back to work, so you may be working in person in the office, or you may be still working from home. So we have things that are in a digital format, or you can print them out, put them up in the office lunchroom, that sort of thing. Share them amongst your team via social media if that's the case. Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff that can be easily accessible from the Love to Ride website. That is under resources in the website itself. Or once a workplace champion is recognized, then usually it's one of the Bike Coalition staff will reach out to them, have a welcome email, provide links to resources, is able to answer questions about, what are the things that are available to workplace champions, and what kind of tactics or methods work best to reach out and encourage others to join. So we try to make it as easy as possible to be the cheerleader for your team.
Jesse, can I take people behind the scenes and show them how to find the stuff on the website?
Yeah, please. That would be great. It kind of makes more sense than me just talking.
Let's dive in. So this is what the website looks like. If you click the info tab at the top, it's going to take you to a bunch of options. You can see them. You've got about, we have a COVID-19 option, we have events. All that stuff is cool. Please click on this at home and get to know the website, because you'll find tons of useful stuff. But it's this resources page that Jesse is talking about. I think that's it. This is the place you can download stuff. You can invite people. You can get social media assets. Bam, you've got them. Let's move on. We did show you a little bit of this, but this is how you get to the leaderboard. If you do want to get a little bit competitive, I want to just point out again, it's non-competitive bike fun, which is sweet. It's so unlike most bike apps. But if you do want to get a little competitive, you can do that. You go to the results page and you can choose between seeing how individuals have been competing. You can look at teams, compete against states. Texas is huge. They have a lot of people competing. Do you guys want to beat Texas? I'd kind of like to. Last thing I want to tell you about this whole point system, since you'll be collectively making points to add to the team or the office, is that it's not about distance and it's not about how many days you get out and bike. And that's totally obvious in the point system. You get big points when you invite new people to pedal. And all through the month of April, if you invite anybody to join Love to Ride, you have the chance to win a New Belgian bicycle. They make these beautiful one-of-a-kind bicycles. Only a few people get them, so that's kind of dope. Okay, Kevin, let's talk about winning stuff, because I think that's why most people tuned in. What can we win?
Yeah, I mean, a brand new bicycle is sort of the... you gave away the end of the story there. I mean, that's the big one. But that being said, there's all kinds of cool stuff in between. So stuff like bike trailers, stuff like technology, stuff like jerseys, stuff like bags, stuff like tools. And then there's a whole bunch of different branding partners and corporate sponsors that we have that have given us all kinds of different stuff. And so as much as just riding with other people is a good motivator, getting free stuff is also a good motivator. And so that's why there's literally no shortage of that. So throughout the month of May, throughout the year, but specifically during May, there's a whole bunch of good, interesting, cool prizes, and they aren't necessarily awarded to the person that rode the most miles during the month. That's not what this is about. This is about encouraging other people. This is about getting more people on bicycles and riding, whatever that means to them. And when they are doing that riding, they're sharing their stories. They're getting other people involved. They're letting other people know, hey, look, I'm out here, I'm doing this. We highly recommend bragging about riding your bicycle. No one cares that you drove to work today. That's not something you get to brag about. But if you are sharing stories about riding bikes, that's something that at least some people, and definitely the other people on this platform, are going to be interested in who are competing with you. So when you are doing
Kevin,
that, yeah.
Can I tell you how much these mean to me? Like, I have days when I'm not feeling so happy, and I just go on Love to Ride and I look at people's stories, and it's so uplifting. Have you done that? Do you do that sometimes when you need a little boost?
Well, yeah, that's what's interesting is that like it can get so specific, and the stories that you're hearing from people on this platform aren't probably the stories of the person who rode for the 6,000th time in their life. They're the stories of the person who said, I've always wanted to get more motivated. I've always wanted to do more. And then this was the last push that they needed. And then they got their spouse to start riding. And then they brought their kids along. And then their kids bragged to their classroom and then told their teacher. And then their teacher started riding as well. And it grows from there. And as much as that's the aspirational goal, that's literally what happens. Like, these are real stories that you can read when you're on this platform. And so if you're looking for a boost, you're looking for something else to get you going, this is one of the things that can do it. You can find these specific stories for San Diego. There's going to be different categories that you can look up and get involved with. And you can see there's a picture specifically of Coronado. Great place to ride your bike.
So I just wanted to add to that, Kevin. Like, I used to go on here and I would, all the ones I would like, I thought, I'm going to pick out the ones I like and give them a high five. Everyone appreciates a high five. And so, like, I ended up high fiving everybody because I thought their stories and their photos were great. So, like Sylvie says, these are just very inspiring and uplifting. And give a high five.
Keep going, Jesse, because the other thing that I know that you have talked about to me, and one of the things that I thought was another way to motivate people is these goals. And again, to reinforce, we've said it a few times now, but just the fact that the goals aren't necessarily distance or calories. And even if there are calories, there's fun ways to look at it.
Right. Yeah. So these goals you can set up as an individual, but then if you're part of a workplace organization or a group, you can set group goals. And so it's, like you see right here, it's like, we're going to ride off 300 tacos. That's a lot of tacos between such and such a day. Or you can ride off, there are all kinds of fun ways to sort of choose. Oh, there we go, right there. So we've got miles, calories. I think tacos is one of the best ones, though. And then this is a wrap up here. It just sort of shows, like, again, all the events that the Bike Coalition is running through May, Bike Month. These all are a part of and help Love to Ride and the events that we do, the challenges. It's all together makes Bike Month and even more. Sylvie, did you want to add any more to that?
You got to sign up online if you want to take most of these classes, but some of this is like self-guided bike rides, and then you just like show up. We got a couple pit stops. We love giving away stuff if that isn't obvious. We always have like helmets and clothing and swag items, so if you can come to one of these self-guided bike rides, you'll definitely get some cool stuff out of it. And if you attend some of the classes, you get some good knowledge too.
Okay, so as we said, sdbikecoalition.org/events is the place to find out more about those events that were on that calendar. That being said, those challenges are going throughout the different weeks and throughout the month, and honestly throughout the year, but May is sort of the month that everybody remembers, I should pull the bike out of the garage, and that's what we're trying to help more people do. So, lovetoride.net/San Diego County is the place to find other people here in San Diego County. It's the place for you to sign up. It's the place for you to find other organizations, other clubs, other people of your level that are riding, and highly recommend signing up the workplace, because this is essentially a virtual version of turning to your coworker at the cubicle next to you and saying, hey, I'm going to ride my bike to work this Friday. Do you want to join me? You're much more likely to continue riding and ride more often if you're doing it with friends. And it's a way to, boost, everyone all together riding further, farther, faster. But that's not the focus. The focus is fun. Further, farther, faster. You cross those out and then you write in fun in big capital letters.